Well, Daytona marked the halfway point of the season for the Castrol GTX Cup Series at the Pepsi 400, and now we start the second half of the season and the road to the championship here in the series. And this track we're going to now in the Castrol GTX Cup Series Tour is not only new to this series, but it's also new to the NNSCRA. Welcome to Burke Lakefront Airport in Cleveland, Ohio, as we're at here today for the running of the Ohio Lottery 200, as we're set for 14 laps of action here today. This is a new track for the NNSCRA, as I said before, as is also for the series as well. Ohio, of course, also home to three of our fellow NNSCRA mates, Levi McIntyre, Kyle Matthews, and even though he's never been in a series before, but he still deserves a shout out, Zach Buchanan. So with all that said here, let's get to the starting line for this running the event. First, we're set for 14 laps of action here today. For the third road course stop on the tour. On the pole, it is Cole Deaver, the winner of the season at Atlanta, in the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet car number 3. And beside him, fellow Ohioan, actually Levi McIntyre, number 99, next to SKF Ford, four-time winner of the season, and also the points leader coming into this event. Row 2, it's Jessica Shelton, number 94, a three-time winner of the season, and alongside of her will be the Daytona 500 champion Charles Sanford in number 41. Row number 3 has Phil Parker, number 5, in the Kellogg's Cornflakes Chevrolet, and another Ohioan, the number 42 car of Kyle Matthews, winner of the season at Rockingham. Going to row number 4, we'll have Joshua Osborne, winner of the season at North Wilkesboro, and Dylan Young in car number 2. Row number 5, we'll have Keith Batson in car 28, Texaco Haviland Ford, and Jesse Turner in car number 19, Row 6, it's Joshua Collard in car 43 and car number 77, Chelsea Bull sits alongside. Next row down, we'll have car number 30, Audra Baranowskis in the Pennzoil Pontiac, and beside her, another Pontiac, Dylan Poteet in the MB&A Pontiac. Going the next row down, we'll have Nick Baxter in car number 81, a Square D Ford, and beside him will be car number 18, the winner at Bristol this season, Paul Minnick. Next row down, we'll have car number 1, the Hooters Pontiac of Alexander Rowe, and Preston Dive Bomb City Plord in number 15 in the Hayes Muddams Ford. Next row down will be car number 44, Jonathan Zorlin in the Phoenix Racing Chevrolet, and car number 10, Ryan Acosta in the Tide Ford. I almost said the real driver's name. That was Ricky Rudd, actually. So next row down, we'll have car number 8, Glenn Duhit in the Circuit City Ford, and car 25, Kyle Langland in the Boweser Chevrolet. Next row down will be car number 24, Michael Whitman and Becca Tellier in the Valvoline Ford, car number 6. Next row down, we'll have Mike Becker in car 7 at QBC Ford, and beside him will be Ryan George in 23, the Smokin' Joe's Ford. He won the season at Charlotte in the 600. Next row down, we'll have car 29, Zachary Fitzwater in the Cartoon Network Chevrolet, and the Pocono winner, Johnny Gardner in the Family Channel Prime Star Ford. Next row down has Shane Lake in car 17, the Parts America Chevrolet, and car number 21, the Sitco Ford of Jason Haywood. Going the next row down, we'll have Ashlyn Boyd in car number 9, the Spam Ford. Beside him will be Quentin Moore in car 75, the Remington Arms Ford. Next row down, we'll have Kat Batson, three-time winner of the season in the Quality Care Services and the Quality Care Ford. Her wins this season came at Talladega. Talladega, Michigan, and Riverside was where she's won at this season. Beside her will be Jack Legacy in the Burger King Ford, Burger King Chevrolet, car number 87. Next row down, we'll have the winner at California, William Brock in the Kodak Film Chevrolet, car number 4, and Patrick Smith in number 11, the Lowe's Chevrolet. Next row down has Al Legacy, winner at Las Vegas in the Skull Bandit Chevrolet, car number 33, and Jordan Lopez in number 90, the Heilig Myers Ford. Next row down has JT Bryant, and beside him will be Max Anderson, car number 98, the RCA Ford. And starting shotgun in the field is Kev Shearer in car 71, the Prodigy Chevrolet. So getting set for racing here today. Here comes command to fire the engines here at the Burke Lakefront Airport.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And the truth be told, this actually is an airport in Cleveland, Ohio. As a matter of fact, Is this track actually the little history behind it? It's actually this track actually was used as an IndyCar track back in the 80s and 90s actually. So first time we've seen it, the stars of the NNSCRA take to this track here. Cole Deaver and Levi McIntyre lead them down. McIntyre and Matthews both hoping to win one for Ohio. Will they do it? We'll find out. Green flag is out. We're racing at Cleveland. Front stretch as they go, but they'll be going to a very tight turn one, which has given some people some problems over the years. See if anybody can make it through there. There we go. Let's see what happens. And so far, so good. Some of them take it very fast. Some of them take it very slowly. And looks like they've all made it through there. Cole Deaver escapes to the lead. Jessica Shelton is in second position. Third right now is Phil Parker. Charles Sanders will come out fourth. Fifth will go to Levi McIntyre. Keith Batson moves up into sixth position. Kyle Matthews seventh. Eighth is Joshua Collard. Ninth, another Joshua Osborne. And Dylan Young is right now in 10th position. He's about to lose that spot possibly to Chelsea Bowles in 77. And she about got into Young, as a matter of fact. Deaver and Shelton, two of our drivers carrying our in-car cameras in today's event here at the Burke Lakefront Airport. And our third in-car camera car will be carried by this man, Keith Batson. As we complete the first lap here today, here at Cleveland, as they come to start-finish line, Batson, you're riding along with him. Right there behind Levi McIntyre in fifth position, Batson running in sixth. And he goes, what? He swings up to the high side of the racetrack here. Thing about this track as compared to the last road course we was on at Sonoma, this track has about quite a few straightaways actually where you can try to make a run at going in a turn and pass them. But this is still not the fastest course that we're going to this season. Probably the fastest one we're going to would be the last road course we'll be going to at Watkins Glen. And here comes Batson to the inside of McIntyre, and they about got together coming through the turn. McIntyre holds him off for the moment right now. As you see, he's running fifth. Sanford running in fourth position. He needs a good run to try to get back up in the contention for the championship. And that last turn's a doozy. You see they swing it a little bit wide, come off the last turn. As Cole Deaver's pulling out to a pretty good lead right now in number 3 car. So you go into turn number 1. Turn number 1, a very tight turn as we mentioned before. Definitely the sharpest turn on the course without question. You see Phil Parker now closing up on Jessica Shelton right now. They're going to come through turn number 2. That's turn 2 right there. That one part I thought was a turn was actually a kink on the course. There's turn 3. Down a little bit of a short straightaway through turn number 4. Another short straightaway for turn 5. And down to a good size, and down to another short straightaway. That's turn 6 you see right there. And onto a pretty good size straightaway, as a matter of fact. Well, actually, it's another short straight. That's turn 7. And onto another bit of a long straightaway, as you see right there. Now to go for 8 and 9, much like the last 2 turns at Montreal almost. Last S turn they go through, and Deaver comes down to complete the 3rd lap of this event. Shelton is close up a little bit right now in the 94 car. I say she closed up. She closed up 26 hundredths of a second. It was 87 hundredths last time, now 61 hundredths of a second. On board Jessica Shelton's car. Shelton, you remember, won the last road course race on the tour at Sonoma. And she's looking for her 4th win of the season. Deaver up ahead of her, looking for his 2nd. He won the season at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, while Shelton's wins came at Texas, Martinsville, and of course, as I said, at Sonoma. And she almost pulled it off in the last race on the tour. The Pepsi 400 down in Daytona came in second in that event. And she right now sits second to McIntyre in the points chase. And right now it's looking like right now she'll gain some ground on Levi because she's running second. And McIntyre right now runs in fifth. Down a little bit of the straight as she goes there. Let's see how fast they go into turn number 8. Shelton up to about maybe 152 miles an hour down through turn number 8. And through turn number 9, pitches it a little, widened a little bit. Down to about 68 miles an hour through that point of the corner. Now let's see how fast she goes on that long straightaway. She closes up on Deaver. Used to draft off Deaver's car. Gets up to about 163 miles an hour into turn number 1. And goes from 163 down to 61 miles per hour in second gear to get into turn number 1. So the brakes take a really big beating going into the first turn here at Cleveland. And of course with the Indy cars, so they used to run this course. Of course, they used to take it about 5 or 6 wide, maybe 7 wide at times, going down the front stretch, and then they had to get down to 2 wide into turn number 1. And of course, you would imagine that caused some pretty good wrecks on the first lap of the race. But they all took it very carefully here on this course here today on the first lap here. They started taking it carefully so far. As we go through the field, there's Batson in 6th position, Matthews in 7th, 8th is still Collard. Battle for 9th between Dylan Young and Joshua Osborne now. Young has the preferred lane, but he gets off in the grass and now stays in 10th. Osborne stays in 9th. Audra Baranowskis running in 10th position. 11th right now is Chelsea. Actually, Audra Baranowskis is running 11th. Chelsea Bolson 12th. 13th is Alexander Rowe. 14th is Dylan Poteet. Nick Baxter running in 15th position as he's gotten by Paul Minnick. And the yellow flag is flown for the first time here today here at Cleveland. And Cole Deaver did not want to see that caution flag flying. And I think it's Al Lagacy, that has spun. It's the first caution flag of the day. I'm actually really not sure, to be honest. Let's take a look back as to what happened. Yep, and it was going into the turn that we saw, or a few moments ago, we actually saw Joshua Osborne almost lose his spot to Dylan Young. Max Anderson gets a very good run going into the turn, and this is, turn 5, You come off that turn, and Anderson just hits Lagacy and sends them both to a spin. In the turn, both cars get back underway. Really no harm, no foul. I don't see how that caused the caution flag, to be honest. So that was the only caution flag that flew here today. So that was the only reason that caused the yellow flag to fly here. So Cole Deaver, who started from the pole, leads the race here so far. So we're racing the running order for you right now. It's Cole Deaver, the leader. Jessica Shelton's in 2nd position. 3rd is Phil Parker. 4th right now is Charles Stanford. 5th is Levi McIntyre. Going 6th will be Keith Batson. 7th is Kyle Matthews. 8th, Joshua Collard. 9th is Joshua Osborne. And 10th position is Dylan Young. And Cole Deaver has our rear bumper candy scene right there, looking right at the front end of Jessica Shelton's car. Pace car right now just took some of the pit road as they see going through turn 8, now through turn number 9. And it'll come to the start-finish line. Green flag is out. We're back underway here at the Burke Lakefront Airport. And Jessica Shelton on the inside. Here comes Shelton for the lead. Let's see what happens in turn number 1. Deaver has that preferred lane. Shelton up to the high side. Parker moves inside of the racetrack here. Shelton got a good restart there, but Deaver had the preferred line in turn number 1, and he forces it, takes the lead away. Keeps the lead, I should say. And meanwhile, Keith Batson now moves in the top 5. He's in 5th position now as he gets by Levi McIntyre. Charles Sanford remains in 4th position. Matthews remains in 7th. Then Collard in 8th. Dylan Young's finally gotten around Joshua Osborne for 9th. Osborne drops to 10th. Average speed on the restart still at a pretty good 90.816. And Cole Deaver going in turn number 8 at about 156 miles an hour, pitches it down through the 8th and 9th turn, and down about 69 miles an hour through turn number 9. Let's see how fast he does crosses the start-finish line. Deaver at about 163 miles an hour to turn number 1, and he'll slow it down to 63 miles an hour in turn number 2, or turn number 1, excuse me. So down from 163 to 63 for Deaver. So give you an idea, you lose 100 miles an hour through into turn number 1 just by the hard braking. But you have to make it through the turn, though, in some way or another. This time by will be 5 laps to go in this 14-lap event here in the Ohio Lottery 200. Cole Deaver out in front, the man from the state of Georgia out in front. Got the win in his home state, as a matter of fact, though, at Atlanta Motor Speedway earlier this season. He's trying to hold off one of the best in Jessica Shelton. How about Phil Parker running in 3rd position right now? Parker, who's had kind of a up and down season this year, or this season though, but right now doing very, very well here at Cleveland, Ohio. And you can bet they'll be wanting to bring that road course setup back to Watkins Glen. Which, by the way, I said we were going to run Road America next on the tour, but actually I changed that on the schedule. I decided not to run Road America. It will be going to Iowa Speedway. That'll be the race that will replace Pocono here in this series. So there we go. But Parker right now runs in 3rd position. He won last season at Rockingham in the AC Delco 400. Charles Saver remains in 4th position. 5th is now Keith Batson, as we said before, in 28. Again, riding along Keith Batson's car. Trying to close up on Charles Sanford, number 41. Once the boss man himself, the only KAB car in the top 5. And he's closed up on Sanford's car as they go through the turn. Here he comes to the inside now. And Sanford, whoa, throws the block on Batson. And maintains position. Meanwhile, Batson's other cars, Becca Tellier runs in 27th position. Jason Hayward is in 33rd. And his wife, Kat Batson, runs in 35th. So, I bet you they all want Keith's road course notes before they go to Watkins Glen. Now down to 4 laps to go as we look through the field there. Levi McIntyre's pulled ahead of this duo right there of Joshua Osborne in 37. He's trying to catch Dylan Young in 2. Young, as I said, running in 9th position. Audra Baranowski's having a solid run here today, running in 11th position. She's been hit or miss as well. Chelsea Ball's another woman. She's in 12th position, and running 13th right now is Dylan Poteet, as he's gotten by Alexander Rowe for that position. Nick Baxter, well, apparently he's left some of his Sonoma setup in there because Baxter's running pretty good. Remember, he ran very, very well at Sonoma until engine failure happened for him while leading on the 5th lap of the race. Sadly for him, Otherwise, if that hadn't happened, Baxter might have been in good shape to pull off an upset that day. Battle for position, the 18 and Paul Minnick and the 19 of Jesse Turner going at it right here. And, Minnick got very slow off the turn. And Turner pitched it wide, and Turner keeps position. That was 17th position right there that Turner just took from Minnick. JT Bryant, apparently he got involved. Apparently he crashed in somehow, some way at here in this race. He's running in 12th position. He's running in 40th position right now. 19th position is actually Jonathan Zorlin. Zorlin came off a top 10 run in the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. Ryan Acosta in 20th. Michael Whitman running 21st right now. Whitman, not a good season with the Jeff Gordon cars. He's running 29th in the points coming into this event, unfortunately for him. Mike Becker in 22nd position. 23rd is Zachary Fitzwater. 24th is Kyle Langland. 25th, Ryan George. 26th is Becca Tellier. And whoa, she got Johnny Gardner spins in the fifth turn. And the yellow flag is going to fly for the second time. I don't see how that caused the yellow, to be honest. And so that means the race is going to end right there under yellow with 2 laps remaining here at Burke Lakefront Airport. And we were going to have a pretty good finish, as a matter of fact, too. And that means Cole Deaver is going to be a winner here today at Cleveland. And I actually seriously did not see how that caused the yellow flag, because Gardner saved it, to be honest. But we were going through the field watching this right there. Gardner got a good run inside of Becca Tellier, just like we saw with Max Anderson and Al Lagacy earlier. Gardner just taps Becca's rear quarter panel, and it sends Gardner into a spin. So round goes the Pocono winner here this season. Gardner puts it back in gear and drives away. And meantime, I think Jason Haywood may have some problems in the 21 car. There he is on the inside. Actually falls back in front of the 4 of William Brock. And we got. Do we have problems with? I think we might have problems with somebody here. I don't know if we got problems with somebody here. We got cars stuck on the inside of the racetrack. There's Zorlin. There's he's going to tuck in front of Acosta. There's Fitzwater. There's Ryan George, and there's Glenn Duhit on the inside. Duhit is going to tuck back behind Becca Tellier. So there we go. Meantime, the yellow and white flags halfway for the final lap of the event. There, Cole Deaver is going to be a winner here today in the Ohio Lottery 200. As he gets yet another victory, as he gets his second victory of the season in the GM Goodman Chevrolet. Jessica Shelton is going to end up finishing second here today for the second race in a row, and that should help her in the points on trying to, if not vault her up to the lead over Levi McIntyre possibly. Shelton finishes second. Third place, a solid run for Phil Parker. A great day for him. Charles Sanford comes home in 4th position. 5th position will be Keith Batson. Kyle Matthews will end up finishing 6th. 7th will go to Joshua Collard. Levi McIntyre 8th. 9th will go to Dylan Young. And 10th place will be Joshua Osborne. Audra Baranowskis will finish in 11th here today. 12th will go to Chelsea Bowles. 13th to Dylan Pote. 14th will go to Alexander Rowe. 15th will be Nick Baxter. 16th will be Preston Plord. 17th, Jesse Turner. 18th will go to Paul Minnick. 19th to Jonathan Zorlin. 20th to Ryan Acosta. 21st, Michael Whitman. 22nd, Mike Becker. 23rd will go to Zachary Fitzwater. 24th, Kyle Langland. 25th, Ryan George. 26th will be Becca Taylor. 27th, Glenn Duhit. 28th, Quentin Moore. 29th, Shane Lake. 30th will go to Ashlyn Boyd. Jack Legacy, 31st. 32nd will go to Jason Haywood. 33rd, William Brock. 34th, Kat Batson. 35th, Johnny Gardner. 36th, Kev Shearer. 37th will be Patrick Smith. 38th, Al Legacy. 39th, Max Anderson. 40th will be JT Bryant. And 41st will be Jordan Lopez. So we gave you the whole field rundown for today's event here at Cleveland. You know, round through the 8th and 9th turns for the last time here, and as at an agonizingly slow caution pace speed, Cole Deaver wins the first running of the Ohio Lottery 200 here at the Burke Lakefront Airport. His second victory of the season. There it is for Cole Deaver. As they all come across the start-finish line here. There's all the cars going by there. There's so apparently everybody's making it through okay, and yeah. So that will do it here today. Average speed 90.714 miles per hour. Give you the finishing order as in case you weren't paying attention to it. So so JT Bryant and Jordan Lopez were the only two cars one lap down, as they somehow got involved in a crash earlier. They must have been actually the ones that caused the caution flag to fall for the first time here today. But a big victory for Cole Deaver, his second victory of the season, as he wins here in the Burke Lakefront Airport in the Ohio Lottery 200 here at Cleveland. And next race on the tour will be at Iowa Speedway for the running of the DuPont Pioneer, for the running of the for the running of the Exalta We Paint Winners 400. So that will be yeah. That'll be the next race on the tour. So if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel here. We got everything on this channel. We got inner races, gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole desires for his channel. And please be sure to check out Seth's offline. Be sure to check out Seth's offline series as well. Be sure to check out his Tag Slayer Truck Series, Pizza Hut X Series, and Hershey's Cup Series. Please be sure to check those races out. You will not regret it at all, and some of the best offline races are found here in the NNSCRA. So 20 races are down in the books here, and we have got 16 more to go here in the Castrol GTX Cup Series as Cole Deaver wins the Ohio Lottery 200 here today at Cleveland. And we'll see it at Iowa Speedway. For now, this is James Walls in the production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best.